Wildcats Radio 1290.
And away we go on a Tuesday. Hello again, everybody, from the studios of Wildcats Radio 1290 here in Tucson. It's the Rich Herrera Radio Show. I'm the aforementioned host of this program, Rich Herrera. Dragon Ball off this week, so JW drew the short straw and asked to work this week. Hi, JW. How are you?
Hi, Rich. I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Good. We got the microphones to work today, right?
Jose was in here. He got everything working today.
Well, so you look good at the Dragon Ball camp.
I do. Thank you.
Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, not too bad.
Not too bad. All right. So we have a good show planned for you today. So I have got two outstanding guests that you're not going to hear anywhere. So number one, coming up this hour of the program, it's an old family friend of mine. I grew up in Central California in a little farm town called Salinas, just inland from Monterey, south of San Francisco. And probably the most successful person to ever come out of my high school is the guest that's going to be joining us. He's actually a family friend way back in the day of my aunts and uncles. He's been an offensive coordinator in the Pac-12, the Big Ten, and the SEC. His name is Borges. He knows more football than anybody else I know and is a legend in the coaching ranks. Now, he's got a book that's coming out that we're going to talk about. But it's one of those things that if you like the Manning cast, or if you like the national championship game where they have the coaches in the coaches room and you get to go behind the scenes and really talk X's and O's, one of the things I want to do this year on the program for football season is we got to go more X's and O's. Now that COVID's done and we get to go out to practice and we get to talk to people, I want to go a little bit more. I want to go a little deeper X's and O's this year in college football, the National Football League, and really with the Arizona Wildcats. So Borges, like I said, longtime offensive coordinator in the Big Ten, the SEC, and the Pac-12. He was in Michigan with Brady Hoke. He was at UCLA. He was at Auburn. He's going to join us, and we're going to talk college football with him today on the program. You're not going to be able to go in-depth inside with a real coach the way that we are today. And here's the great thing. He's going to join us every week of the football season to give us the real nitty-gritty out of that college coaching fraternity that only college coaches know. They all have this underground line of communication, and it's all off a coaching tree, and they all know each other, and they all talk. So we're going to tap in. We're going to tap into that coaching fraternity with Borges this football season. I'm thrilled to have him come on the show. He's come on with me before on CBS Sports Radio, but he's going to be part of our Wildcats Radio 1290 family coming up this football season. And then, oh, baby, do I have an interview coming up for you at 4 o'clock. How about the retired president of Fox Sports? Yeah, that's right. Fox Sports Network's Bob Thompson is also the president of Fox Sports International. You want to talk about an insider that understands everything that's been going on with the college football realignment and the networks and all the rest of this. It doesn't get more high level than Bob Thompson. He's going to join us coming up at 4 o'clock for an exclusive interview. So you want to get one, bang. You want to get another, bang. You're going to get a 1-2 punch day that you will not find anywhere else around Tucson or around the country. So I have all of that coming up for you today. I was at practice today. We'll talk about what we saw at practice, and time to start talking about the race for the Pac-12 and wins and losses. And I'm going to throw this out at you. We have a new text number, okay? I'm going to be honest. I'm looking right into the camera for those of you that are watching us on YouTube and Facebook and on WildcatsRadio1290.com. I'm talking to everybody listening to the show. You've been lazy. I'll just be honest with you. We need to get a little bit more out of you, out of the program. I'm expecting a little bit more from you. I need you to step up a little bit, Tucson. I'm calling you out. That's right. I'm throwing down the gauntlet. Listen, we worked our tails off to get this new text line. And first day was good. Then you guys have gone back to, listen, I get that you enjoy the show. I enjoy doing the show for you. but I expect you to participate and pull your own weight. We're only as good as this show as we all work together. And I know there's times where we'll all get going on rants and I don't take a lot of telephone calls. There's times where I'm like, hey, call in. But again, sometimes when we have so many guests and so many features, it's hard to work people in. That's why I wanted to go to a text line. And that's why we have this new text line. It's the same as our call-in number. And you can call in whenever you want, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. If you can get past JW, we might let you on the air. But you can text to the program right now, and I can read your text messages here in the studios. So I'm going to throw this out, and I'm going to keep hammering this because I need you to start pulling your fair share, okay? I need you to step up right now. So here's the deal. If you so choose, which I'm demanding you do, time to start texting into the program. You could text the word rich. We made it so much easier. There's no short codes. Just text the word rich along with your text message to 520-848-1290. Text the word rich to 520-848-1290 to participate in the program. And I'm going to give you a text question that I want you to answer today on the program. Got it? So again, you know the number, 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290. Now you can text the word rich, bang, right here to my computer screen for us to read your text aloud. So I do have a question for you for the text line. So with that being said, I think it's time to see what's rattling around in my big old size 8 head today, shall we?
Warning. The following segment might trigger some listeners, and 1290 does not take responsibility for the following content.
What the hell is going on?
It's time for the list as we explore the sick, twisted mind of our host, Rich Herrera.
And that's when things got bad.
And the list of things he is thinking about in that huge size 8 Chrome Magnum head of his.
Look at the size of that boy's head. That's like an orange on a toothpick.
You're gonna give the boy a complex.
Well, that's a huge noggin. Has its own weather system.
Kind of a 60s beat to the music, doesn't it? A little bit of a 60s beat to it. All right, so here's what's rattling around in my big old head with my 60s hippie music. I don't know if it's hippie music, kind of hipster music.
It sounds to me like there's 15 people on the stage.
Is it
one of those bands that
it's
has
not a
like
hootenanny, is it?
20 people in the band, that type of thing.
Is it kind of a it's kind of a poppy song.
This is like when swing met jazz type of thing.
It sounds like one of those beach movies that they had in the 60s where a sea monster comes out and it turns out that it's not really a sea monster and everybody's named Goofball.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, look, they're invading right now, right? All right, here's what's rattling around in my big old head right now. Practice number 6 for the University of Arizona at fall camp. They had full pads today, so they started popping, bang, hitting people today. Here's what we saw. Jordan McLeod, I think, continues to make smart decisions when he gets in there, and he's running with a third team right now. But when he gets in, he looks good. His command of this offense has jumped tremendously since last season. Again, limited time, got to camp after everybody else got hurt. But when I see him in there, his reps look good. Noah Fufita is a kid that I'm just going to keep talking about. Don't sleep on him. Don't sleep on him. You just look at him, and he is a playmaker. Now you know why he was such a highly regarded recruit and why Jed Fish was so excited to see him in there. Every time Fufita gets an opportunity, he just makes things happen. We saw T-Mac. He looked good today. Had a couple of really good catches. Looked good. McLeod, like I said, makes smart decisions. You saw Speedy Luke out there. All in all, a pretty good practice. Day 6 of camp. Which brings me to my text question for you, Tucson. Here's what I got for you. Are you ready? I got a text line. Let's use it. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290. It's time to start talking W's and losses, wins and losses, W's and L's. How many games do you expect the Arizona Wildcats to win? Give me your win total. A couple of people have sent messages and DMs and text me. Hit me up on Twitter. You can hit me up on Twitter, RBI Rich. That's my Facebook as well. You can You could text me at 520-848-1290. Just text in Rich to 520-848-1290. Give me your thoughts on what do you think? How many wins will the Arizona Wildcats end up this year with at the end of the season? Text me, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. How many wins will the Cats have this season? And we'll start talking about reasonable expectations after that. By the way, I think I tweeted this out, and I know we're probably going to put it out from our account. I took a picture of this. Jed had ice cream for the fellas today. They had an ice cream truck after the full workouts, and they had them running, and they were talking about conditioning, and then he was talking to them at the end of practice about what their responsibilities are. Get off your feet, get treatment, eat the right way, get some rest, get plenty of fluids because they'll get back after it on Thursday. So no practice tomorrow. Tomorrow's an off day, and then they'll get back to it on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'll be out there for all 4 of those, I believe. I know I got to work Sunday night on the network at 11, but I'm going to try to get out to camp for just a little bit coming up on Sunday night. But I thought it was kind of cool. Jed brought an ice cream truck out there, so all the players ran out there afterwards and got ice cream after practice today.
If any day, Rich, it was today. It's so muggy after that storm last day, right?
Yeah, by the way, that's on my list of things that's rattling around my big old head. How about that monsoon last night? It was powerful. The wind's cracking. My dogs are sitting on my lap trembling. Lots of thunder and lightning. The rain whipping around. The wind having it sheet off the windows of my house. And I live up in Oro Valley, so, I'm a little bougie. So, we don't have to really put up with the elements up there because we're better than everybody else because it's Oro Valley.
Yeah.
But it hit hard everywhere throughout Tucson.
Yeah, my girl's friends from Arkansas, out there, they got serious weather that could pick your house up.
Yeah.
I told her, you move out to Tucson, you're going to be able to enjoy the weather. You're going to be able to enjoy the lightning storms without fear of dying. And I might have to take back those words last night because our whole house was shaking from it was right over the top of us for a good half hour around 11 o'clock.
The winds were the things that kicked up the most. I've been through a tropical depression or a tropical storm. Never been through a hurricane, thank goodness. But the winds were whipping pretty good, and everything in our backyard that wasn't tied down got knocked over yesterday.
Yeah, that's when you have heavy lawn furniture.
Right, you got to bring all that in. So anyway, that was pretty good last night. All right, what else is going on? All right, big news. Big news for everybody today. ESPN is officially out of the Big Ten business. Bum, bum, bum. What's that mean? And why is that big news? Okay, the Big Ten, who raided the Pacific 12 Conference and stole away USC, UCLA. Well, they've been in their exclusive negotiating window with Fox and others. So here's what happened. ESPN had been in the Big Ten business forever. Now remember, there is a Big Ten network which is partially owned by Fox, so Fox had the inside skinny when it was getting to the Big Ten rights. But officially, ESPN walked away from those negotiations and said, bye, Felicia, I'm out. And they said, no more. We're getting out of business. That leaves ESPN with the SEC, the ACC, and not the Big Ten. So what's going to happen? They need a new partner on the West Coast. The lifeline that the Pac-12 has been looking for is out there right now. That's great news for the Pac-12. For those of us that were talking about the demise of the Pac-12, well, what are you going to do? How are you going to get this done? Where are they going to find a television home? Well, it looks like George Kliavkoff is playing this just right, and the Pac-12 could have a permanent home with the folks out in Bristol. I'll go into more detail of that coming up on the program for you. What else am I thinking about my big old head today? Oh, how about this story came out? Sam Mills, the linebacker for the Saints, he was inducted into the Hall of Fame, Canton, Ohio this weekend. I told everybody what a cool experience it is. Hall of Fame weekend, induction weekend in Canton. They have the big parties. They have the speeches. They unveil the bust. All the gold jacket Hall of Famers roll back in. It is a huge party. It is a highlight of a man's professional career to be inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Sam Mills goes from the very, very top of the accomplishments in his career in the National Football League to today. He was fired by the Washington Commanders. He and Ron Rivera just couldn't see eye to eye. What a few days for Sam Mills. Saturday, everybody's telling me how great I am. You're a Hall of Famer. Tuesday, you're looking for a job. What's the National Football League stand for, JW?
You tell me, Rich.
NFL stands not for long.
I thought it was no fun league.
No, it's not for long.
Oh,
that's what players say, not for long. So anyway, he was fired today by the Washington Redskins. Washington Commanders. Boom, I owe you $1. I also want to keep an eye on this. JW, keep an eye on this for me as well. A California court is hearing the lawsuit brought by Phil Mickelson and several live golf players saying, hey, I know we quit. I know we turned our back on the tour, but we want to go play in the FedEx Championship chase. What a bunch of clowns. That would be like you leave your station. If I left this radio station, I set up a show on another station, and then I come back go, hey, I want to still do Arizona football pre- and post-game show. No, you already walked out on us. And I want to come back, clown.
The majors are part of one tour.
Right. Yeah. The live players aren't part of the tour, right. And it doesn't go that way. But anyway, clown lawsuit. So we'll see what happens, but who knows in the courts. Again, I've got a text question for you. Text me, T-E-X-T. Text me this. How many wins are you predicting this year for the University of Arizona? Text me. Send the word RICH to 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290. Text me with the word RICH to 520-848-1290 and tell me how many wins do you think the Cats are going to end up with this season. Oh, by the way, it's Taco Tuesday. I need to do a show on tacos one day of what's the best Taco Tuesday joint in Tucson. What do you think? What's your favorite Taco Tuesday?
Man. I mean, that's like asking what the best pizza in New York is. There's so many. Rick.
I know. Might be a whole show one day. Anyway, that's
what's your favorite style of taco?
What do you mean?
Like, do you like...
I like the kind with a shell and meat and cheese.
No, I mean, like, do you like the slow 24-hour pork, was it burrito, those kind of tacos? Or, I mean, there's so many different types.
If I had my choice, if I'm going to the chair, carnitas soft taco with cheese and sour cream.
Yeah.
And I'm not very good at having spicy food, so I don't want cilantro. I don't want any peppers. I don't want any salsa or anything. Just plain.
I mean, if you're talking Sonora, because if people come here to visit and they've never been here before, I think carne seca is the way I suggest that to people because it's very unique to the area and it's just not quite like any other flavor that you might have had before.
Is it spicy?
No. It's more of a dry.
I can't have anything spicy.
I believe it's air dried.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a long process to it, but carne seca is a good one for Sonora cuisine if you want to introduce somebody to the regional type of taco.
See, now I kind of feel bad. I went to Del Taco for lunch, which is one of my favorites. I love Del Taco.
Yeah, Del Taco's great.
All right. Anyway, that's what's rattling around in my big old head. All right, coming up. I need to start breaking things down because this whole story about ESPN getting out of the Big Ten deal. Meanwhile, the Big Ten is partnering up this season with CBS and Fox. Well, how does that work? All right, I'm going to explain all that to you coming up here in just a little bit because we need to start working out the differences between all these media rights. So we're going to talk about little things you need to know so you can understand some of the bigger picture stuff that's going on. What's the difference between Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3? You keep hearing all of these. I'll get into that next. I'm Rich Herrera, JW, behind the scenes, behind the glass on the Dragon Ball cam. You're much taller than Dragon Ball because your head sits on top of his dragon.
I'm sure I could move the camera slightly.
No, I like you just the way you are. You just make me feel taller because you're next to me. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, handed to Matherin between the rings. Over for Creasa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Koloko. Creasa around it, drives right. Throw it for Koloko, who slams it down for two. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak, driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Coloco, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Coloco, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Coloco. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
4th down and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step the handoff. It is good. Backfield and drop. No gain. Loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Coloco, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Coloco, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Coloco. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way, out to Tabellas, down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out. The locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments for the University of Arizona Wildcats?
4th down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on 4th down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, looking, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's caught! Touchdown, Arizona! Oh, did they need that? My goodness, Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the board. ASU with the ball, down by 11, 3 have to go. Steal by Coloco. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Coloco, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his 3rd foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Coloco looked like one driving down. That was from midcourt. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Matherin with the ball for the Wildcats. Matherin around a Coloco screen, picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Coloco. Feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline. Circles back out top to Matherin. 10 to shoot. 16 left in the ballgame. Matherin, 3 balls straight away. Good!
That's
We're
a
tied.
Huge shot for Ben Matherin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Matherin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. 2 tight ends. Oregon, 5-man front. They shift. Play fake, rolling right. McLeod looking to throw. Going deep. Down, trying to find Berryhill. Makes the catch inside the 25-yard line. Still loose inside the 15. First down, Arizona.
What a play by McLeod. He was smacked, but he had the presence of mind to know where Berryhill was. He threw the ball. He underthrew the ball, and Berryhill was looking back at it and made a great play on the ball. An amazing play by Jordan McLeod.
Brown will take the snap a yard deep in the end zone. Straight back to throw. Has some time. Steps up in the pocket. The Wildcats have got him for a safety. second safety Arizona has recorded this season. It's a 24-12 ball game, and the Cats will get the ball.
That's big
Pulling
time.
on the field is a safety.
Yes, that's big time by Arizona. That time defense did a great job of just closing the pocket from the inside, and then the pressure on the outside by Abear. They just got him. They just got there. They won their blocks that time. Excellent.
On Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, text messages starting to come in. I like this. Maybe I just have to call people out a little bit more often. JW, do you like when people get called out? You respond, don't you?
I'm more of a kindness person, personally. But if I'm slacking and somebody brings me back to reality, I do appreciate that, yes. I like real, Rich. I like real.
Let's go. We have a text line for you now. We worked hard, so use it. Text the word RICH to 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290, the text RICH, along with your message. And we're texting right now. I'm asking you, how many wins will the University of Arizona pick up this season? Paul in Phoenix, one of our VIP callers, says 7 wins. And he says, yes, we do have the most underrated quarterback class in the entire Pac-12, and it will pay dividends. So there's one for a 7-win season for the Cats. You do that, you will be having a parade for Jed Fish down University if they pull 7 wins. Another one, he didn't sign his name to it, but thank you for the text message. 7-5, and we finish the year ranked. Wow. That happens. I say I would do cartwheels, but I'm too fat and old to do cartwheels. I still make that old man sound getting up. 7-5, you're back in relevance. Oh, this town would go crazy for 7 wins for the Arizona Wildcats. And I've said this before, and I'm going to start saying it. Listen, there is a bit of pressure on Jed, and he has to right this ship that's crashed, run aground, and then was set on fire before he got here. And I said Jed's trying to serve dinner, a formal dinner party, and he came in here and he had 2 broken cups. He doesn't have any teaspoons. The plates were mismatched, and there wasn't much left. That's why you've 50 new players plus that have rolled through here. They've turned over the roster like nobody else's business. And the talent level and the energy level and the attitude level is a lot better. And let me say this. For the guys who were here before, they've been through a lot. So this is not a knock on guys that have been here before. Jed said that they're the cornerstone in this rebuild because they stopped the hemorrhaging. Now you see year 2, the energy, the talent level starting to rise. And if it continues to rise, that's when you pull yourself out of the doldrums of 1-win seasons. But there is a clock that's ticking, especially with realignment in college football. And as super conferences are out there on the horizon, Arizona has to show that it's relevant in football. Otherwise, you're going to get left behind. So for Jed Fish, I'm sorry, Jed, this isn't your making, and this isn't the timetable that you were hired from. But no one would have anticipated USC, UCLA bailing on the Pac-12 and the Pac-12 fighting for its life, and Arizona wanted to be part of that. And again, when we talk to our guest coming up in the next hour, we'll talk about the difference between the football schools and the basketball schools and which ones are most relevant. But for Jed Fish, 1 win doesn't cut it. 2 win doesn't cut it. 3-win seasons don't cut it. You need to get back to be a respectable, if not good, football program to survive in college football 2022, 23, 24, 25, and when they expand the college football playoffs. So how many wins do you think the Cats are going to get this season? More than 1, yes. But what do you think of, and I like, by the way, we haven't talked about this a lot here, but I will on this program. I like to deal in reasonable expectations. Listen, I can tell you, hey, you know what my expectation is? For them to go undefeated and win the Rose Bowl. That's not reasonable. What's a reasonable expectation? Send us a text right now. The word RICH to 520-848-1290. The word RICH, 520-848-1290. Let's see. David texts in. He says, I think the Cats can have 5 wins. I see 5 wins in this season. All right? What's your reasonable expectation for wins for the Arizona Wildcats? 520-848-1290. I want to talk about something, and I've been remiss because I haven't mentioned this earlier, because we've been talking about, well, Fox is getting the rights to the Big Ten, and ESPN has the rights to the SEC. It's not as simple as that, and that's why I'm really excited to have our guest coming up, Bob Thompson, in the next hour, because he's a former president of Fox Sports. I'm going to give you a little inside baseball. I just want to do it real quick so we all understand. The deal that the Big Ten has right now, ESPN's out, Fox is in. But their other partners are CBS and NBC. And you go, huh? I'm just going to give you a little tutorial in the way the rights go in college football. There's a Tier 1 rights holder. And that's the primary rights holder who gets the first pick of everything each Saturday out of your television package. So what you're looking at is Fox being the Tier 1. They get the pick of the litter every Saturday for the Big Ten. And then we know what this is like, but we've never explained it to you this way. There's Tier 1, they get first pick. There's Tier 2, they get second pick. And then there's Tier 3, where everything else goes that doesn't get picked. So that's why a lot of times you're looking around, well, okay, it's time for the college football game of the week. Fox or ESPN, ABC will take USC, UCLA, Tier 1 game. And then you'll have Fox would have the Tier 2 game, and they'll take Washington and Oregon. Okay, that's the Tier 2 game. And then all of a sudden you go, well, where's Arizona? They're on Pac-12 network at 9:30 at night. Why? Because that falls down to the Tier 3 category of broadcasts. So as we're talking about where the Pac-12 is going to go, just remember, whoever has the Tier 1 paid the lion's share, it gets the first pick. So the way this Big Ten, just to give you the background, Big Ten, Fox has Tier 1 rights. They get first pick. CBS has Tier 2 rights. So they're going to carry a game at 12:30. The one that they usually carry, they'll carry this year, is a Southeastern Conference game. That game on CBS will now be a 12:30 start of the Big Ten window. And then NBC gets the third pick to put in prime time and also carry on the Peacock network is the Tier 3 rights. So when we talk to Bob coming up in a second, I do want to talk about Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, how all these add up. And you're wondering, okay, well, wait a minute, where's all this money the Big Ten's getting? I'll just put it to you this way. CBS is going to pay $350 million for the Tier 2 rights, and NBC is going to pay $350 million for the Tier 3 rights. That's $700 million to go along with the Fox's money, which gets them somewhere north of $1 million a year in TV rights money. So I just want to throw that out there because there's terms that you're going to hear, but I wanted to explain them to you. All right, I'm going to talk some X's and O's coming up next. Al Borges is going to be joining us. In fact, we're going to call him right now, JW, get him on the line. Al Borges, offensive coordinator, Big Ten, SEC, Pac-12. We're going to talk X's and O's with him next here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, hand it to Matherin between the rings. Over for Creasa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Koloko. Creasa around it, drives right. Throw it for Koloko, who slams it down for two. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak, driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
Fourth down and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step to handoff. It is good. Backfield and drop. No gain. Loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Coloco, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry. Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Coloco, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Coloco. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way, out to Tabellas, down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out. The locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments for the University of Arizona Wildcats?
Fourth down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on fourth down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, looking, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's hot! Touchdown, Arizona! Oh, did they need that? My goodness, Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the field. ASU with the ball, down by 11, so they have to go. Steal by Coloco. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Coloco, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his third foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Coloco looked like one driving down that was from mid-court. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Matherin with the ball for the Wildcats. Matherin around a Coloco screen, picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Coloco. Feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline. Circles back out top to Matherin. 10 to shoot. 16 left in the ballgame. Matherin, 3 balls straight away. Good!
That's
We're
a
tied.
huge shot for Ben Matherin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Matherin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. 2 tight ends. Oregon, 5-man front. They shift. Play fake, rolling right. McLeod looking to throw. Going deep. Down, trying to find Berryhill. Makes the catch inside the 25-yard line. Still loose inside the 15. First down, Arizona.
What a play by McLeod. He was smacked, but he had the presence of mind to know where Berryhill was. He threw the ball, he underthrew the ball, and Berryhill was looking back at it and made a great play on the ball. An amazing play by Jordan McLeod.
Brown will take the snap a yard deep in the end zone. Straight back to throw. Has some time. Steps into the pocket. The Wildcats have got him.
Wildcats Radio 1290.
We're looking for your text messages today. Tell me, how many wins is realistic for the Arizona Wildcats this season? Text the word RICH to 520-848-1290. Text the word RICH to 520-848-1290. How many wins will the Cats have this campaign? All right, we've been out at practice, watching every day, parsing over every little thing, looking at the drills. But I've covered football long enough that I kind of know what's going on. I told somebody today I'm just dangerous enough with my limited knowledge, and I wanted to delve down and get into some X's and O's a little bit more this football season. So I am thrilled to welcome to the program Al Borges, longtime football coach in the Big Ten, the Pac-12, and the SEC. He's got a great book that's coming out this fall, and he's going to be joining us throughout the season to talk college football. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Al Borges to the program. Coach, how are you?
What's going on, Rich? You're my homeboy. It's great to talk to you again, man.
You know, there's some great athletes that have come out of North Salinas High School. Del Rogers, Anthony Toney, Al Borges. One name that's not going to be on that list is Rich Herrera, who Chuck Narayan said, I've never had a kid that had a worse attitude and no athletic ability than you, Herrera.
Yeah, you had the terrible twos. Bad attitude, bad ability.
Exactly.
And I hardly deserve to be in the same breath as Anthony Toney and Del Rogers, but I do appreciate the shout-out.
So, Coach, let's kind of give everybody, since you're going to be joining us throughout the football season, I'm just thrilled that I get to talk X's and O's, and you and I have chatted off the air. I've been fortunate enough in my career to be surrounded by great coaches, to be able to pick their brains on a daily basis, and I've worked with Gary Barnett, and I've worked with John Robinson, and I've been around Larry Smith and a lot of these coaches, and they've taught me so much of the game, but there's the little nuances, X's and O's, that coaches get that the general public doesn't get to see. We think we're inside the game, but we don't. So give us, just for the listeners here, so they understand how fortunate we are, how blessed we are that we're going to be able to talk football with you. Give the listeners your resume, and I know you're humble and don't want to, but just explain to the folks who you've worked with over the years.
Well, I've been, pretty fortunate because I was going to be a high school coach for, as far as I was concerned, that's what I was going to do. And then I got a break. I ended up going to Cal back in 1982. We lateraled the balls and ran through the band, and we beat John Elway. I don't think John's recovered from that yet. But that was my first introduction to college football. But at that point, I bounced around until I got a job at Portland State, where I worked for 7 years with Pokey Allen, followed him to Boise State back when Boise State was 1AA. We went to national championships when I was at Portland and Boise, which is, pretty amazing when you think about it. And then I got the biggest break when I got a chance to go with Mike Bellotti to Oregon. I went to Oregon for a year. From there I went to UCLA for 5 years with Bob Toledo. And then from there back to Cal, Indiana for 2 years. And then I got a big break and ended up going to Auburn, where, oh my goodness, I fell into a gold mine. We had all kinds of talent. Went undefeated my first season in 2004. That's what the book's all about. The Deny of the Tiger was the year we went 13-0, but didn't get an opportunity to play for the BCS National Championship. And from there, I went to San Diego State with Brady Hoke, who took me to took me to Michigan later on. And I finished up at San Jose State and UTSA. So, 43 years of coaching, 7 years in high school. I mean, I ran the gambit. I've coached about every level you could imagine. And it was living a dream, Rich. I mean, really living a dream. I would have never guessed that I got an opportunity to do the things that I did. And to this day, before I go to bed, I thank the good Lord for that chance. So that's kind of my story. It's not as illustrious as some, but for me, it was a pretty good deal.
I just had dinner with Mike Bellotti at Pac-12 Media Day. What a guy. I just lucky enough to do this for a living for all these years, but I sat with Mike Bellotti and Justin Wilcox. It was just a fly on the wall sitting with those two great football coaches and listening to them talk football and just about life. It was something I'll never forget.
Justin Wilcox was a quarterback for me in 1995. Now, after I left, Justin became a defensive back. But his first year, he was a freshman quarterback who I thought really, really bright kid, good football family, obviously, with his dad, Dave, and his brother, Josh, who played tight end for us that year. But it doesn't surprise me that Justin has enjoyed the success that he has, because I think he had the right demeanor, personality, and intellect to be the kind of coach he is today. So, but that all, started with Mike. And Mike was the first guy to give me my first opportunity to coordinate offense in Division I. And believe me, and I mentioned this in the book, how appreciative I am for him doing that.
You mentioned the book, Deny of the Tiger, and it's out this fall. It chronicles the year in Auburn that you had where you guys captured Magic, but were denied an opportunity to play in the BCS, and it takes you behind the scenes. I'm fascinated by books like this because you chronicle week by week, and it almost feels like maybe I'm a team manager, maybe I'm a player on the fringe, because you get an opportunity to really live what it's like to be inside that program.
Yeah, and it's from a coach's perspective, Rich. I think this is where it's a little different, okay? And I'm not saying, it's a bestseller or a literary masterpiece. But what it is authentic. It is, from my perspective, spoken from a coach's lips to a fan's ears. It is, if you want to be in the huddle, if you want to be on the sideline, if you want to come into the locker room, all those things you get to do, because where Hard Knocks probably stops the camera sometimes, I kind of keep the camera going.
Yeah.
And I don't pretend to be anything I'm not. I did not write this book to be artsy. I wrote this book to send a message about a great football team from a coach's perspective in 2004. Nothing more, nothing less.
But the thing that would fascinate me about the book is that whether I'm a Tiger fan, Auburn fan or not, I get to really go behind the scenes. It's like Hard Knocks. I might not be a Cowboy fan, a Raider fan, Jaguar fan, or wherever they go, but just getting a chance to see the raw, uncut, unfiltered film of what it's like being in a training camp, to me, is the most fascinating part of Hard Knocks.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I tried to do is it's not always politically correct. It's not what I would call a tell-all book, but it is candid. There are some things that I had second thoughts about writing, but I wrote it in a coach's voice with all the cuss words and all that. If that's hard on your ears, you may not want to read the book, but it's not awful, but it is authentic. It is what I could recall saying at the time is what I put in the book. I didn't edit it, and I told the editor, I don't want any of this edited out. I want it exactly the way I wrote it, because that's the way I remembered it.
Al Borges joining us right now, longtime offensive coordinator of the Big Ten, the Pac-12, and the SEC, and he's going to be joining us throughout the season to talk college football. He's got a book called Deny the Tiger, and we're going to talk more about that as we roll through this football season. All right, my first question for you as we introduce you here to the Tucson audience. You've coached in the Southeastern Conference, the Big Ten, and you're a West Coast guy, so you grew up around the Pac-12. What do you think is the big difference between the three power conferences that you've worked in?
From a coaching perspective, I see none. I really don't. I think all of them do a great job. I don't think anybody coaches any better in the SEC than they do in the Pac-12 or the Big Ten. I think they all do a great job. Some guys may be a little better, a little bit, but there's not such a drastic disparity. You can say, "Oh my goodness, this guy is making making wine out of water." You know what I mean? So, but in the SEC, because it's such a religion down there, they have spring football in high school. It's a 24/7 proposition. It's on talk show radio in the middle of April, in March. It's all the time, and it's a big deal to them. And I think that plays a part at the end of the day, because kids want to play football. They grow up wanting to play football. During the season, if you just talk about during the season, I don't see a hell of a lot of different from one conference to the other in terms of how much they care about winning and losing. I mean, if you go to the Ohio State-Michigan game, because I get this question all the time, what's the more vicious rivalry, the Ohio State-Michigan game or the Iron Bowl? And I said, well, during that week, there's no difference. They hate each other. You got four fan bases that are a little wacky, and they get really wacky that week, okay? So I don't see too much difference that way. But in the off season, I think that's where the SEC separates itself a little bit, because of the focus on football year round. I guess that's the best way that I would explain it. And there's so much that comes with that in terms of the kids' attitude about football and all those types of things. So if anything makes the SC a cut above, I think that's probably it.
It's interesting because I think I told you this. I worked with Booger McFarland for the longest time. And Booger went to LSU, and you see him now on ABC and ESPN, and he said the difference between the conferences was the SEC is so talent rich. If he would have gone, like he wanted to go to the University of Miami and they were going to make him into a tight end, but they had so many athletes at LSU, they got to leave him on the defensive line. He goes, most schools, when you have somebody that's as big as he was and as fast as he was, you're going to put him in a skill position. They have so many skill position players at LSU, he said, when he was there. He ended up playing nose tackle and playing defensive lineman. And he goes, that's why the Southeastern Conference has been so good. They have athletes in non-skill position spots.
I think there's something to that. I do. But I think that to a degree that happens in every conference. But there is a huge talent base in the Southeastern portion of the United States. I don't think anybody would argue that. But it goes beyond the talent base. It's huge. That's a big factor. I don't want to sell that short. But I just think it's a mentality. It's an attitude. It's a year-round thinking that hasn't changed since I don't remember when. I mean, but I think what's brought the SEC to the next level is the talent base. I would have to agree with that. But I think it's always been a conference that's football was a high priority.
Is there anybody close? Like I said, you were at Auburn, so you've been to the Iron Bowl. You've been to Michigan, Ohio State, and coached that game. You coached in the Civil War, Oregon and Oregon State. You coached the big game, Cal and Stanford, and, of course, USC, UCLA. And we've been talking about the passion of Southeastern Conference football. Do any of our teams on the West Coast come close to the passion that you would see in the Big Ten or the SEC?
Oh, yeah. I think Oregon does. Oregon is very passionate and creates somewhat of an SEC atmosphere when you play there. It's a tough place for the opponent because the noise levels are off the charts. I would just say this, so Rich, from an overall perspective, there are more full venues and louder environments in the SEC than there are in the Pac-12. So there's more to deal with because of that. But to say that there's no teams that can't create, there isn't a team that can't create that environment, I don't think that's true. I know when I was in the Pac-10, or it was a Pac-10 at the time, so I'm dating myself.
Hey, listen, they're calling it the Pac-10 again with USC UCLA leaving. So we're going to have to relearn the Pac-10.
Yeah, they're subtracting. I know this, and you remember this. I know you do. You know how hard it was to play in Washington?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, the jaws of death. You'd go in there. That was the one place in the Pac-10 that was you just never looked forward to playing that game because there was always going to be noise problems. You were not able to change plays on the line of scrimmage because if you did, your lineman would come off right away saying, Coach, I just can't. Here, we can't do it. Just call a play and run a play. So I know that Washington, and I think at times Washington's been like that still, but I know what they can bring to the table because that is a great college football environment. So it's not as though the Pac-10 is devoid of any of that. But I think sometimes when their team wins, like when I was at UCLA, we won. We won 20 straight games, and Washington had led the conference in attendance for years and years. And when we won 20 straight games, we led the team in the conference in attendance. So it's out there. I think SC is another team. I mean, goodness gracious, SC can be as good as they want. They can recruit the same kind of players Alabama can recruit. And I think Pete Carroll proved that. So, I mean, it's a place, it's a conference that can be with the other conferences, depending on, it's very cyclical, but I think certain years they can play with these teams.
Al Borges joining us right now, football coach, the author of Deny the Tiger. We're going to have to figure out, maybe have you come down and do a autograph signing, because once we get done talking this football season, we're going to get to know you and have you as a friend of the program as we talk football with you every week. Jed Fish took out a full-page ad last week asking fans to come out and wanting to pack Arizona Stadium. I could talk about it all day long, Coach. We could hear Jed talk about it, but take us inside the locker room and talk about the difference when you show up at a place like Auburn, Georgia, the Horseshoe, the Big House, Camp Randall Stadium. You talk about going up to Autzen Stadium or going back to Washington in the day or going to the Coliseum when the USC Trojans are really humming along, as opposed to going to a place where it's kind of quiet. The fans are sitting on their hands. Most of them are outside tailgating and don't even bother to make it into the stadium, and there's no energy. How much of a difference does that make?
Oh, my goodness. It makes such a huge difference. I mean, the fans can create synergy. And I've been telling you something. I'm going to give you another one here, Rich. When I was coaching at UCLA in 1998, Arizona was on a roll. We went into Arizona, and they filled that stadium, and it was something else now. They have the ability, and I think Jeff gets it, because he knows that those Arizona fans will go for it if they give them a product. That year they gave Arizona a product, and they played well every week, and I experienced it firsthand going into a stadium that was, I guess in the past, probably not as full as it had been, but that year it sure as hell wasn't, and it was not easy to play there. And I think Arizona, with Jeff, because Jeff is a real bright guy who understands the passing game, a good offensive coach, coached at a lot of different levels, he can get that thing going, and if the fans can get behind it, they can be a formidable opponent in that conference, and I think there is a little bit of a sleeping giant from a fan base perspective.
So you've seen it. You've really experienced it when you roll in here with the Bruins or the Bears or the Ducks and you say, okay, we're going to Tucson, and if the crowd's into it, that just gives you something else to deal with, is you're just trying to win a football game?
Oh, God, they were waving their keys, and it was hard. It was hard. I mean, we had a really good team when I was at UCLA, but when we had to play there, and it was just a difficult environment to deal with when those guys got cranked up, and there was not an empty seat in the place when we played them, and they ended up going to a bowl game later on. I think they won. I think we were the only game they lost that year.
I think so.
And
I think so.
But let me tell you, we had to bust our butts to win that game, and we were pretty good. Like I said, we were pretty good, but they were too. And I just think there's something there. If they can create that then, they can create that now, because I don't know that they've been that level since.
No.
But if they can get to that level, they can do the same thing all over again and more.
Help me out real quick in the minute that we have left. Practice going on right now. How much do I need to pay attention to who's throwing interceptions and who's carrying the ball well, who's making catches just 6 games into 7-on-7 and 11-on-11 drills?
It's worthy of your attention, but I wouldn't take it too seriously. I think who the performers are based on what was happening a year ago, right? I mean, you got a pretty good feel for what's going to happen that way, but it's the guys that are filling the spots. Those are the guys I want to watch, okay, even in practice. They didn't play last year, but that spot has got to be filled by a right guard, by a wide receiver, maybe by a quarterback. And you want to see how that kid performs under pressure, or as close to under pressure you can get, because practice is not a game. But it does give you an idea if he's competing on a day-to-day basis. So those are the guys that I'm the most curious about, not the guys that I got a pretty good feel for what they are. So, and I'm sure at Arizona or wherever you're watching practices, there's certain spots, and you can just look at the depth chart and see they're trying to find somebody to play. Those are the guys I want to watch. Those are the guys I want to see what they're doing.
Coach Al Borges joining us. Don't forget, you can find his book, Deny the Tiger. It's a great inside look at college football. And like I said, he's going to be joining us throughout the college football season. Coach, thank you so much. I'll catch up with you again real soon.
Absolutely, Richard. Great to talk to you.
All right, take care. Al Borges joining us here on Wildcats Radio 1290. Coming up next, folks, you want to talk about a back-to-back embarrassment of riches? Bob Thompson. He's the former president of Fox Sports Networks. He joins us exclusively to talk about what's going on in realignment. That's next here on 1290.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, hand it to Matherin between the rings. Over for Creasa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Coloco. Crease around it. Drives right. Throw it for Coloco, who slams it down for two. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak, driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Coloco, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Coloco, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Coloco. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
Fourth down and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step the handoff. It is good. Backfield and drop. No gain. Loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Coloco, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Coloco, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Coloco. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way, out to Tabellas, down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out. The locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments from the University of Arizona Wildcats?
Fourth down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on fourth down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, looking, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's caught! Touchdown, Arizona! Oh, did they need that? My goodness, Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the board. ASU with the ball, down by 11, so they have to go. Steal by Coloco. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Coloco, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his third foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Coloco looked like one driving down. That was from midcourt. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Matherin with the ball for the Wildcats. Matherin around a Coloco screen, picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Coloco. Feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline. Circles back out top to Matherin. 10 to shoot. 16 left in the ballgame. Matherin, 3 balls straight away. Good!
That's a huge shot for Ben Matherin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Matherin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. 2 tight ends. Oregon, 5-man.
Rich Herrera on Wildcats Radio 1290.
We roll on here on Wildcats Radio 1290. I'll be honest, I'm a little nervous right now. I'm a Fox Sports alum. I was one of the original hosts on Fox Sports Radio. And there's a bunch of names that you hear at Fox over the years, and one of them is Bob Thompson. He's the former president of Fox Sports Networks, Fox Sports International, and he's been kind enough to join us here on Wildcats Radio 1290, and I'm thrilled to be able to talk about everything realignment with Bob, who's our guest here on 1290. Bob, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate this.
My pleasure. Didn't know you were a former Fox Sports Radio
I was
personality.
I was one of the original. Bob Golick and I were one of the first two hired over there.
Yeah.
So I got to work at Pico on the lot and go in the commissary and work in the Fox Sports building. And once I got off on the wrong floor in the elevator and I walked into JB and Howie and the crew, it's one of the thrills of my life working there.
It's a great place to work.
It is, absolutely. I really appreciate you coming on with me. I've been watching on Twitter. John Canzano's been talking to you, and you really enlightened a lot of people on where we are with realignment. So a couple things I wanted to ask you. Just snapshot right now, a snapshot in time with ESPN now out of the Big Ten business. Where do we stand right now with the networks, the realignment, and what do you think the landscape looks like at this minute?
Well, right now, I think everybody's in a bit of a holding pattern. If the Big Ten agreement comes out as it's been put forth at this point, ESPN's out. ESPN has $350 some odd million in their pocket. They didn't have to spend on the Big Ten, and they're probably looking for some football games and also significantly some basketball games because they were the biggest carrier of Big Ten basketball. So they're looking for some product. And next up is the Pac-12, who is probably out of an exclusive negotiating window and so can really start talking to all comers. And I would expect that the commissioner and his television consultant has been on the phone today saying, in the infamous words of Brett Yormark, we're open for business. And give us a call. So that'll be next. And then the Big 12 is after that shortly. Possible that the Big 12 moves their exclusive window, negotiating window with ESPN and Fox up earlier than it's probably currently expected to go into effect. But that would require Fox and ESPN to agree to that, but it's a possibility. And then you'll go forward from there. ESPN and whoever else wants to bid on the Pac-12, gives them enough comfort level that the schools are, prepared to extend their grant of rights with the conference. I think the Pac-12 holds together pretty good. If the numbers aren't great, then I think some of the schools in the Pac-12 might start talking about maybe uneven revenue share situation based on football winning percentage, appearances on TV, et cetera, those type of things. So that's kind of where we're at. I think Notre Dame sits pretty for now. I don't see any reason for them to move. Everybody's kind of positioning themselves so that the next round of the college football playoff, that whether it's the broadcasters in Fox and ESPN or the conferences beyond Big Ten and SEC, are all positioning themselves for a seat at the table for the next iteration of the college football championships.
We're talking with Bob Thompson right now, former president of Fox Sports Networks, our guest here on Wildcats Radio 1290. So I sent you this message, and I wanted to ask you, for those of us down here in Tucson on the West Coast at basketball schools like the University of Arizona, I was thinking about a Gonzaga who's been so big on the national stage. All of this has been driven by football. What's the future for basketball schools? How important, how valuable is the Arizona Wildcat basketball brand? How important, how valuable is that Gonzaga basketball brand in a landscape that's been driven by college football?
I think the Arizona brand is extremely important because, along with the football, you've got a top-notch basketball program. And while basketball might only equate to 20 to 30% of the total value of any of these contracts, it is important to the networks and especially the sports networks because from a tonnage standpoint, it fills a lot of hours. And there's a lot of games, and they play all sorts of different times of the week, and so that's extremely important for the sports networks. For an outfit like Gonzaga, it's kind of tough because not playing football, they're kind of betwixt and between. I think they're probably in a pretty good situation where they are right now. in a conference that has a mix of, basketball only and basketball and football.
So is the priority now that 70-30 split, 70% of the importance is going to be football, 30% is going to be men's basketball in the future negotiations and alignment in when you prioritize and put a value on college athletics?
Yeah, that's pretty much the way it's been for a while. I mean, I think, the thing you have to remember is pretty much everybody who plays football has basketball, but not everybody who plays basketball has football. So it's certainly going to be a situation where the 70-30 tilted towards football is going to be will continue down the road.
So one of the things I'm trying to figure out, and we're talking with Bob Thompson, but so kind to join us, former president of Fox Sports, is the players in all of this and the difference between network television, the sports networks, and then the streaming digital services. Because I keep telling people, 10 years from now, I might not have a cable TV box, but Bob, I've got every streaming service known to man, and I'm buying a new one every day. What's this transition going to be like for us?
Well, it's interesting with the Big Ten deal. I think it might have taken a bit of a step backwards. I mean, here you have 3 over-the-air broadcast networks sharing the same package. I don't remember, other than in the NFL, where that's ever happened. You're going to have a Fox game at noon, you're going to have a CBS game at 3:30, and you're going to have an NBC game at 7:30 Eastern. And so that's almost the anti-streaming, because you're talking about broad-based over-the-air networks that you don't even have to have a cable to get. All you got to do is slap up some rabbit ears, and you're going to be able to get those games. So it helps the Big Ten in this world, an era of they're kind of, cord cutting is definitely going on. People are dropping cable, yet the streamers aren't there yet, where they provide enough of an amalgamated audience that it makes sense for the conference. So they've done almost a complete opposite and gone 100, with a bulk of their games onto the broadcast networks. Yes, there'll be a FS1 piece, and yes, there'll be some Big Ten network games. It'll be interesting to see what the streaming option is for the Big Ten. It could have been part of NBC's deal with Peacock. It could be a deal with Amazon Prime or with Apple Plus. I don't know yet, and that'll be interesting to find out. But the streamers do provide one thing, and I was talking with some people the other day, and one of the interesting things you can see is, well, maybe it's not a lot of games. Maybe it's things like the Monday Night Football Manning cast. Maybe it's a Pac-12 Red Zone channel. Those type of things that are kind of thinking outside the box, which the streamers are really good at doing, and that they could easily take a simulcast from CBS, Fox, whoever, ESPN, and create something that there's value for, and that they're willing to pay the conference to have access to that.
The one thing that I can't figure out, Bob, and I need your help, NBC has Peacock for their streaming service. Our old place, Fox, has Fox, the big Fox. It has Fox Sports 1, and then it has a streaming component of it as well. CBS is the one that I can't figure out what their play is, because they lost the Southeastern Conference. They have a little bit of streaming, but they don't have a sports network, cable sports network, to go along with CBS. What do they need as far as programming goes?
Well, CBS has Paramount Plus, which is their streaming outlet. They do have CBS Sports Network. It hasn't really played in the collegiate football world. They do have some Mountain West Conference games and some of the services games. But I think for them, this is strictly a replacement for the SEC window that they had at 3:30 Eastern for years. It's interesting that word was they passed on a renewal of that deal for an average of $300 million a year, and now they're swapping out SEC for Big Ten at $350 million a year. So that I'm not sure that was quite the wise decision to pass on that deal a few years back. But I think that the streamers, Fox doesn't really have a streamer, and right now I think the guys at Fox are, other than what you get off the network, they're probably happy they haven't dumped all this money into streaming services like Peacock, NBC at Peacock has, and Disney at ESPN Plus has. A lot of these guys are losing a lot of money, and they're halfway into it now, and it's either keep plowing forward pull the plug and get out now. So I think they're going to keep plowing ahead forward. But you're right. I mean, after the pandemic, everybody started looking at their credit card bills, and it's like, wow, how did I get 7 streaming services?
My wife yells at me every time she looks at the checkbook and says, why do you have all of these streaming services? I said, because I work in sports and I need all of these. But eventually something's got to give.
There will. I mean, just as there has been across, all sorts of media, there will be a consolidation. I saw something that came out today that Walmart's in discussions with Peacock, with ESPN Plus, with Disney Plus, Discovery Plus, about offering all those services. So maybe there's a new super streamer bundle that's on our horizon. But the interesting thing is, people who've cut the cord from cable, you get up to 6 or 7 or 8 of these things, and the prices will go up. ESPN Plus is going up to like $10 a month here pretty soon. The prices are going to go up, and if you have enough of them, pretty soon you'll be better off going back to cable.
Oh, 100%.
The cost is going to be better.
Bob Thompson joining us right now, the former president of Fox Sports Networks, our special guest here on Wildcats Radio 1290. So with ESPN getting out of the Big Ten business, and now George Kliavkoff having this opportunity to figure out what the Pac-12 rights deals are. I know everybody's talked about ACC, Pac-12 getting together. What do you think the best case scenario for the Pac-12 conference could be?
I think the best case scenario for the Pac-12 is that, Georgia is able to cobble together a rights package that gets them, north of $35 to $40 million, right in that range, average per school, that they are able to create a new streaming package that either replaces or coexists with the Pac-12 networks, that they eliminate the Pac-12 networks from, downgrade it from 7 feeds to 1, and that they ensure themselves a seat at the next college football championship iteration, whatever that may be. And so they'd be looking at another payday there in 2007, I guess, or 2027, I guess, is when the first year would be. If he can accomplish those things, excuse me, he's had a heck of a week or a heck of a year.
and by the way, the 35 to 40 million, is that tier 1, or is that total, in your opinion, tier 1, tier 2, and in tier 3, the streaming?
That's total.
That's total.
The only thing that probably wouldn't be in there is what's Pac-12 networks distributing, and I don't believe it's distributing a whole lot right now. So that would be tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Pac-12 networks is all the product outside that. So handful of non-conference football games, some conference football games, conference basketball games, and all the Olympic sports would continue to reside at Pac-12 networks, although some might have to be carved out in order to make an attractive package for the streamers.
One last thing I wanted to ask you, Bob, and I can't tell you how honored I am that you came on the radio with me today. I've worked at quite a few of the networks. Either I'm really good or I can't keep a job. I haven't decided yet, but I worked at Fox. I work at CBS right now. I've worked at a lot of different networks. You tweeted something out the other day, because if the fans are listening and they're watching, like, oh, these guys in the back rooms with these cigars in Bristol, Connecticut, and in Los Angeles over on Pico, the networks are the ones that are the puppet masters in all of this. How much juice do the networks really have compared to the wishes of the school presidents and the chancellors and the commissioners of each of the Power 5 conferences?
A lot of people don't agree with me on this, but having kind of been there and done that, I don't ever remember once politicking a conference to add a school. Was I consulted when people were talking about adding schools? Absolutely. And I would tell them, if you add that school, this is at the next round of our negotiation, this is what value it might bring. But I was never out there trying, or no one at Fox that I'm ever aware of, and I was involved in those deals for years and years. None of them were ever out there doing that. Now, I think at the end of the day, did Fox find out about USC and UCLA moving to the Big Ten on January or June 30th when everybody else did? No, they knew about it before. I mean, I'm not that naive, but I think for Fox and ESPN, I mean, what they're trying to do is create matchups and games and windows that make sense for them as a network and allow them to present the best games possible, allow them to make games, cross-conference games, and also ensures that at the end of the day, with an expanded college football playoff, they've got a seat at the table. And other than that, this whole idea of, Fox and ESPN, are the puppet masters, and the conference commissioners are the puppets. I just find to be quite ludicrous.
I mean, watching your tweets and reading Canzano, I just think it's so ironic that the thing that everybody groused about in the Pacific 12 Conference, our Pac-12 After Dark, is probably going to be the savior of this conference because the networks need that second, third, and fourth television window in order to make all of this work.
Absolutely. I mean, I had years of battles with first getting Pac-12 After Dark in, and we originally, there was issues with in basketball. I used to fight with Lute on it all the time, and then to finally get it into football was great. But the teams still didn't like it. The fans grouse. The teams don't like playing it at 7:30 Pacific. But at the end of the day, the thing that they all hate so much may be their salvation.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? All right, I do have to ask you one question, because I asked all the bosses this when we launched Fox Sports Radio back in the day. What kind of television package do you have at your house? How many TVs do you have? Because you're in the business of television. How many screens do you have in your house? How many cable boxes and satellites and streaming services do you have?
Let's see. I have 6 TVs, from 34 inches up to 85 inches. I have DirecTV, and that takes care of all my needs. I use CenturyLink for my broadband. I don't have cable broadband. I have streaming services. I have Netflix, Apple, Prime. And that's it. So I haven't got into the Peacock side of things yet, and I have not done an ESPN Plus thing yet because there's just nothing there yet on ESPN Plus that I feel I absolutely have to have. I hardly have enough time to watch what I've got, let alone add a whole bunch more.
Oh, that's awesome. I asked that when we launched the radio network. I asked David Hill that. He came on with us, and I asked, how many televisions do you have in your house? And I don't think he had that many, he said.
That's surprising. He's got a lot bigger house than I do.
Oh, Bob, it has been an honor to be able to talk with you. And like I said, just all the information that you've been tweeting out has been so invaluable for me, trying to understand where we are in the realignment of college football. And so much of what you've said, I think people have really been able to use to grasp what's going on behind the scenes. And I'm just in your debt for coming on. I hope we could do this sometime in the future. And it was wonderful being able to talk with you.
That's great. I think, it's funny. I'd never done any social media before like a month ago. No Facebook, no Instagram, no Twitter, no nothing. And then John is like, look, if you're gonna be involved in this, you got to get on Twitter and see this stuff. And so, I got on it, and it was an interesting time because I just come off shoulder surgery, and so I was, I couldn't do anything. So I would sit there and look at this stuff, and it was absolutely amazing to me, the level of expertise that exists out there in the Twitter sphere. I was just totally blown away. And it's been a real interesting exercise. I'm sure I've ticked some people off, and some other people think I'm really stupid, but it has been an interesting. I've heard from a lot of people I haven't heard from. Someone compared me to a cicada bug that comes out every 10 years. And I say, yeah, well, that's about when all the rights deals come up, every 10 years. So I'll see you again in 2032.
Oh, that is awesome. Well, I hope the shoulder feels better. And, thank you for all the information. And if you don't mind, I'm going to keep reaching out to you and making sure that I'm getting these stories right.
Be happy to help.
Bob, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right, you guys take care. Have a good night.
All right, take care. Bob Thompson joining us right now, the former president of Fox Sports. You want to talk about El Jefe, the man, the myth, the legend? That's the guy right there that ran the Fox Sports empire, joining us here on Wildcats Radio 1290. I can't believe we got him on the air. That is, JW, that is something right there.
Yeah, no, I mean, that man has seen a lot. He needs a lot of televisions, Rich, because, clearly he's passionate about what he's been doing.
Yeah, like I said, I'm a Fox alumni and worked right there on Pico in Motor for Fox Sports and would see all of those executives walking by that I just kind of, I'm just a little radio guy, just stay away from me, don't get me. So I actually worked on the movie lot, or I worked in their other Southern California studios, which were where the same studios that Rush Limbaugh would use, and Dr. Laura and all the big stars like Ryan Seacrest would be in the studio next to us. So it was pretty cool. So being able to talk with Bob Thompson was amazing. All right, I need to catch my breath. I'm a little fanboyish. I'm a little hot right now. Let me catch my breath. Coming up, we're going to give you an opportunity to win a gift card. I'll tell you about it coming up next here at 1290.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, hand it to Matherin between the rings. Over for Creasa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Koloko. Creasa around it, drives right. Throw it for Koloko, who slams it down for two. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak, driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
Fourth down and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step to hand off. Into the backfield and drop. No gain, loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way, out to Tabellas, down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out, the locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments for the University of Arizona Wildcats?
Fourth down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on fourth down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, looking, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's hot! Touchdown, Arizona! Oh, did they need that? My goodness, Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the field. ASU with the ball, down by 11, so they have to go. Steal by Koloko. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Koloko, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his third foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Koloko looked like one driving down. That was from mid-court. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Matherin with the ball for the Wildcats. Matherin around a Koloko screen. Picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Koloko. Feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline. Circles back out top to Matherin. 10 to shoot. 16 left in the ballgame. Matherin, 3 balls straight away. Good!
That's a huge shot for Ben Matherin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Matherin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. 2 tight ends. Oregon, 5-man front. They shift. Play fake, rolling right. McLeod looking to throw. Going deep. Down, trying to find Berryhill. Makes the catch inside the 25-yard line. Still loose inside the 15. First down, Arizona.
What a play by McLeod. He was smacked, but he had the presence of mind to know where Berryhill was. He threw the ball. He underthrew the ball, and Berryhill.
It's the Rich Herrera Show here on Wildcats Radio 1290. I lost my robotic camera. I walked out of the room to get a bottle of water, and the robot's looking for me over next to the door, so now I got it back. Hello, robot. I just got to wave at it to get it to come back over here. Listen, that was something special, being able to talk to the former president of Fox Sports Networks. I mean, he ran Fox Sports Networks. I worked at Fox. Never got a chance to talk to him because he was so far up the food chain. That is about as inside. That's about as inside as you could get when it comes to how television is working and how television is driving or being driven through realignment. And the stuff that he said was amazing. Now, help me out here as we unpack all this, and we got to replay this. This was so good. Notre Dame's sitting pretty independent. ESPN now has a need to have the Pac-12 become important because they're going to need those second, third, and fourth windows in your television day. So think about this. When the first television window comes open for you to watch a game is at what time? 10 o'clock. Then you've got a 1 o'clock game. Then you've got a 4 o'clock game. And then you've got a 7 o'clock window. 10, 1, 4, and 7 is traditionally when you'll see games. Well, there's only one, and I'm talking West Coast. If you're on the East Coast, it's 1, 4, 7, and 10. But you know what I'm talking about. Pac-12 After Dark, which we all hate, and he said Lute Olson would get mad because they play all these late games. It's going to be our saving grace. And we're going to have to change our attitude about this because before all we do is complain, JW, nobody on the East Coast is going to see us. Well, you know what? I think our tune has got to change. Instead of nobody on the East Coast is going to see us play at 7 o'clock because it's 10 and they go to bed. You know what? We just should worry about the people that are going to watch us on the West Coast and thank God that they need television programming at 7 p.m. in Los Angeles and San Francisco and Seattle, Portland, Tucson, Phoenix, Vegas.
Yeah, better to be on television than not, Rich.
Exactly. The other thing, and I asked him because when I contacted him, he's so. I mean, listen, like I said, I'm a little overwhelmed that I got a chance to talk to somebody like this on the radio here on this program, but I wanted to ask him about the basketball schools, and I thought it was interesting that the Fox Sports Network, Fox Sports Net, or the regionals, or all the other Fox Sports 1, I guess is what I'm saying, and ESPN need programming during the basketball season. So what he's predicting is if Kliavkoff can get us to about $40 million is where we're going to sit The rest of the conferences, the SEC and the Big Ten, are going to sit at about $100 million. So there's going to be a deficit. And that's why here's the next big thing, JW, that this is the reason why they're pushing for the college football playoff. Not to see us crown a champion out of the Pac-12, but to be able to get some of that money coming back to the conference if you expand it out and you get 3-4 teams into the field of 12, field of 16, or wherever big that is. It's like getting March Madness money.
Yeah, and you know, the real issue, Rich, from my perspective, is just recency, right? Because Pac-12 has been in conversations, at least for the playoffs, most of the last 10 or 15 years. It's only been recently, it feels like the only last few years. So if you're going to go off this short cycle, but how much talent comes from the West Coast? I just don't buy that there's no future where teams from the West Coast can't compete. And completely agree with the whole summer scenario with the SEC.
That was what Al Borges was talking about,
and
right?
How much time and effort players may or is gone into conditioning and things like that during the offseason. There may be more commitment. But I just look at teams like Oregon, even Utah, some of those teams, and I just don't see those teams having zero chance to compete.
Well, you heard what Al Borges told us, because we had 2 back-to-back great interviews. Al Borges just told us that, down there it's religion.
Yeah.
If Tucson can become a football town the way we are for a basketball town, but Borges said you got to give the people a reason.
Yeah.
And right now, as Jed's begging, cajoling, doing everything he can, he'll probably come pick you up. He'll come pick you up at your house, take you down to McHale to help you get season tickets. That's how much he's working. Eventually, though, we have to have a reason to get behind the team.
Yeah.
In Tucson, and that's where we're in a little bit of we're a little bit in both worlds, because we're either the smallest city in America or the biggest town in America. Baton Rouge is not a city. Baton Rouge is a town. Oxford, Mississippi is a town. So we've outgrown just being here for college football for the sake of being here for college football. We need a reason. And that's where I think there's a lot of pressure on Jed and the coaching staff.
Briefly, Rich, I was at that game Mr. Borges was talking about.
Yeah.
UCLA came into town in 97, and that year, UCLA was the best team on the West Coast, and Arizona was the best team on the West Coast. It was 1-1A. And so the reason I think that was like a 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. game. It was early.
Right.
And the crowd, I've been to maybe 15 or 20 games. I've been to
because
500.
mainly you're working.
I've been to 500 games at McHale. I've only really been to 15 or 20 games at Arizona Stadium.
Well, the last 8 years you've been producing.
Well, of course. But that particular game, Rich, and that crowd, just like Mr. Borges said, I mean, the energy, and the reason was Kelvin Ifon, captain of that team. That team had a fight. They had a spirit, and every game they were competitive. So guess what? All this coaching staff needs to do is win games and be competitive in every single game, and the fans will come out. Right?
And no, 100%. I thought it was interesting, the 70-30 percentage. So if you want to talk about why Jed Fish needs to win right now, the importance of college athletics is split 70-30. 70% of that is football. 70% of that is football. So Tommy Lloyd does a great job. And Jed will tell you there's only 2 programs that are self-sufficient at the University of Arizona that make money for everybody else. One is football. The other is men's basketball. Everything else depends on those 2. But in the grand scheme of things, for the importance of media rights, it's a 70-30 proposition. So your football team better be winning in order to maximize that 70% threshold of what the media rights are worth for a conference.
And people don't like that, but that's just reality.
That's reality. Sorry.
For some time. One correction, Rich. I just said that if the team does well, the fans will come out. I want to correct myself. Fans need to come out first. Fans need to fill that stadium right now, regardless of what the record is, and show their support. And those fans will be in the stadium regardless. But as the team gets to those thresholds of being ranked and so forth and so on, I think the average fan, the event of it all, like I want to go see number 2. I don't remember what UCLA was ranked at that time, but I remember that was a bit of an event that day.
You know what? We're going to have to take that little soundbite and get Kelvin to come on and talk about that day. That's what we need to do.
It was a good day.
Okay, I got to catch up. I got a bunch of things I got to tell you about. First of all, we're asking you to text in because I've got this fancy new text line and I need people to use it. what do you think the win total for the Arizona Wildcats will be this season? Text the word RICH along with your comments to 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. Now, today's program is brought to you by our friends at Huss Brewing and their Papago Orange Blossom Ale. It's an Arizona icon since 2005. This wheat ale starts out with hints of bright citrus and ends with a creamy vanilla finish. Served tall with the fresh orange slice. Orange Blossom is the perfect relief from the Arizona heat. Coming up before the end of the program, I'm going to give you a chance to win a $25 gift card that you could use for anything you want, but I would suggest you use it for Papago Orange Blossom. So thank you so much to Papago Orange Blossom and the folks at Huss Brewing for bringing you today's program. All right, what else am I going to tell you about? Oh, we're giving away season tickets. Yeah, how about that? We're talking about getting excited for Arizona football. You think you're the biggest Cats fan ever? You can win Arizona football season tickets. Just visit wildcatsradio1290.com to submit a photo that best represents your Wildcat fandom. We'll pick weekly winners. They'll get 4 season tickets. All right, so I have all of that I got to tell you about. I mean, I'm a little behind because like I said, those are 2 amazing guests.
When you get good guests, Rich, that's going to happen.
I mean, like I said, getting Bob Thompson on, the guy who ran Fox Sports, is a big deal. And then Al Borges is going to be fun to talk football with all season long.
Topical as well. I mean, the things that were discussed today were literally what's been driving the 24 news cycle the last week, right?
Exactly. Hey, quick reminder, the program brought to you this week by QC Kinetics. Are you sick and tired of that constant pain in your knees or your hips and your back? And, I got up today, I was over at practice, and I make that old man sound. If you've got chronic pain, you make that sound all the time. Stop. You got to do something different. QC Kinetics, they're helping people here every day, giving them lasting pain relief using advanced techniques. They're using regenerative medicine. So here's what they do. They concentrate your own body's healing agents and apply them to your aching joints, restoring and repairing damaged tissue with no drugs, no steroids, and no surgery. You can do the old things. You can take drugs or steroids and let them cut on you, or you could try something brand new from QC Kinetics. And listen, they've got clinics all over America, 2 right here in Tucson. You don't have to live in pain. This summer, make it the last summer that you've got to go, every time you get out of your favorite chair. This exciting new natural way to deal with joint pain is right here in Tucson with no side effects and no downtime. So call QC Kinetics right now for a free consultation. Here's the number, 520-497-4955, 520-497-4955. They're located at Academy and on Orange Grove. Here's their number, 520-497-4955. All right, coming up, I do want to start breaking down the Pac-12 race, and I'm going to let's count through some of the win totals we might see. JW and I will do that next. I got UCLA schedule, USC schedule, Arizona State, maybe Utah. Let's start figuring out some of these win totals that we think we'll see this season in the Pac-12. That's coming up next. And don't forget, you'll get a chance to win, courtesy of Papago Orange Blossom, who's bringing you the show this week.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, hand it to Matherin between the rings. Over for Creasa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Koloko. Creasa around it, drives right. Throw it for Koloko, who slams it down for 2. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak, driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins. Throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three. Blocked again by Koloko. Follow grabs it. It's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
Fourth down and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step to hand off. Into the backfield and drop. No gain. Loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry. Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins. Throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three. Blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it. It's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way. Out to Tabellas. Down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out. The locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments for the University of Arizona Wildcats?
Fourth down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on fourth down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, looking, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's hot! Touchdown, Arizona! Oh, did they need that? My goodness, Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the board. ASU with the ball, down by 11, so they have to go. Steal by Koloko. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Koloko, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his third foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Koloko looked like one driving down. That was from mid-court. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Matherin with the ball for the Wildcats. Matherin around a Koloko screen. Picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Koloko. Feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline. Circles back out top to Matherin. 10 to shoot. 16 left in the ballgame. Matherin, 3 balls straight away. Good!
That's a huge shot for Ben Matherin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Matherin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. 2 tight ends. Oregon, 5-man front. They shift. Play fake, rolling right. McLeod looking to throw. Going deep. Down, trying to find Berrios. Makes the catch inside the 25-yard line. Still loose inside the 15. First down, Arizona.
What a play by McLeod. He was smacked, but he had the presence of mind to know where Berryhill was. He threw the ball. He underthrew the ball, and Berryhill was looking back at it.
Not bad. That's my new bad habit. I was standing there in football practice today. We were walking. It's just like my own little self-motivation. I irritate my family with it like nobody else's business.
The YouTube comments would say, "Rip headphone users," is what they've always said. Whenever there's a very loud noise in the mix of some random normal noise, yeah, rip headphones. So as long as anybody doesn't have headphones on, they're probably okay.
Yeah, so I'll just walk around. I'll walk through the hallways just kind of clapping like this, like a coach. Come on, boys, let's go. Come on, let's get after it. Thanks for joining us, everybody. I'm Rich Herrera. We're going to have an interview coming up for you on the 5 o'clock hour with Bob Thompson, retired president of Fox Sports Networks. Pretty amazing conversation. And he kind of lays it all out. The future of the Pac-12, the demise of the Pac-12 is very much overstated. And as George Kliavkoff said during the Pac-12 media days, Listen, the Big 12 is trying to destabilize the Pac-12, and they have a good reason to. They need to strengthen up their conference after losing Texas and Oklahoma. The Pac-12 needs to strengthen up our conference after losing USC and UCLA. Will both survive? I don't know. But today's news that ESPN will not pick up any of the Big Ten contract means that the Pac-12 is now a very valuable piece of inventory in the television market for a network that has ABC and ESPN2 and ESPN Plus for that matter. This is a great day for the Pac-12 because if ESPN would have spent their $350 million on Big Ten football, would there be anything left for the Pac-12? Would there be a need for the Pac-12? The answer probably would be no. So now ESPN has $350 million they're not going to spend on the Tier 2 rights. The second game for the Big Ten. Now, the other thing is, and I got the article right here. This is very interesting. Because, and there's dominoes and there's musical chairs. So I tweeted this out earlier today at RBI Rich, that how many chairs do we have in this game of musical chairs now? Because here's the domino moves from all of this. You ready, JW?
Ready.
Okay. ESPN out of the Big Ten business. Done. Fox is getting the Tier 1 rights to the Big Ten. We knew that. But what's happening now is CBS, who lost the SEC, and I thought that was interesting that our guest Bob Thompson said that, CBS balked at the $300 million that the SEC was asking for, and they went to ESPN. Now they're going to end up having to pay $350 million to be second fiddle to Fox for Big Ten football. CBS now will take on the second tier of Big Ten games. Okay? Why does that matter? It matters because NBC will have second tier rights and third tier rights to Big Ten football. So what does this matter to any of us, JW? So remember, like I said, there's 10, 1, 4, and 7 o'clock windows. And I got to fill as many of those windows as I can.
Yep.
So according to Sports Business Journal, the 12:30 Eastern, the 12:30 game we would have here, which would normally be Auburn, Alabama, LSU, one of those games, that's going to be a Big Ten game on CBS. The ESPN will take the rest of those and put them on their networks for those early games. NBC ended up buying the second and third tier games from the Big Ten. So that 12:30 start Pacific, 3:30 start Eastern is going to be CBS. NBC and Peacock will carry a 7 o'clock game. Okay, why does that matter? They're going to carry a 7 o'clock game, primetime game on NBC that they'll also stream on Peacock, or they could have it independently on the Peacock streaming service. That means NBC has an opportunity to keep Notre Dame as an independent. Notre Dame as an independent weakens the grandiose plans of the Big Ten or the SEC. Notre Dame as an independent now can stay on NBC because NBC said, all right, if we're going to give them $500 million or whatever we're going to give them a year, Notre Dame's looking for $75 million a year to stay independent. If Notre Dame stays independent in football for $75 million and they stay on NBC for that 12:30 start, that daytime afternoon start, NBC needed a partner because they need to have 2 games in order to recap all that money. Well, now by buying that Big Ten second game, now they have a partner to go with Notre Dame and be able to make that package work. So if Notre Dame stays independent, that also makes sure that you keep the Pac-12 relevant, because NBC will take Notre Dame in a late Big Ten game. CBS is going to take a 12:30 game, and maybe they'll need another game somewhere down the line for a second game for Paramount or their CBS broadcast. Now, the one thing CBS has, CBS Sports Television, the big difference between that, JW, and I learned this because I worked at Bellator for a little while, CBS Sports Radio is not Nielsen rated. So they put Mountain West games and Service Academy games, but they can't sell the advertising for it because they don't have wide enough distribution to have Nielsen ratings. So even if you put games on CBS Sportsnet, you can't sell it because you can't measure the audience.
Right.
All of this sets up for ESPN, maybe CBS, needing programming from West Coast. 1 o'clock games, 4 o'clock games, and then the only games that Power 5 schools can deliver, the 7 o'clock starts at Arizona Stadium. It's huge. And if you're the Pac-12 right now, you are breathing such a sigh of relief. Did I unpack that for everybody?
You did. There's a lot of numbers. I had my notepad out, and I was writing down 1, 7, 4. There was a lot of numbers involved. So I think if anybody got a notepad out there, they're on board. They know what's going on.
All right, I'll repeat all that for you. But now I really have the lay of the land. So, again, thanks to Bob Thompson, who's been invaluable. John Canzano, who, by the way, he and John Wilner are starting a new podcast. He just subscribed to it today. Wilner's been great. Canzano's been great. And I think Canzano's going to come up on the program tomorrow.
Cool.
As well. So we're getting lots of text in. A lot of people, this one, I got 3 wins for the Wildcats, Rich. I got another one here. A lot of people saying 5 wins for the Wildcats. 5 wins for the Wildcats. We'll break that down for everybody. We'll do that coming up next. How many wins can the Cats get? We'll talk about that coming up after the top of the hour. Then, again, you listen, if you heard it, you want to rehear it. If you haven't heard it, tell your friends. Bob Thompson breaks down. He's the former president of Fox Sports. He breaks down exactly what's going on with the state of college football. Fascinating stuff. You'll hear it exclusively here on 1290.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, handed to Matherin between the rings. Over for Creasa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Coloco. Creasa around it. Drives right. Throw it for Coloco, who slams it down for 2. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak. Driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home. And the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Coloco, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Coloco, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the 3, blocked again by Coloco. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
4th down and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step the handoff. It is good. Backfield and drop. No gain, loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Coloco, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Coloco, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, Goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins. Throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three. Blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it. It's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way. Out to Tabellas. Down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out. The locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Rare. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments from the University of Arizona Wildcats?
4th down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on 4th down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown, Arizona. Oh, did they need that? My goodness. Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the field. ASU with the ball. Down by 11, so they have to go. Steal by Koloko. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Koloko, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his 3rd foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Koloko looked like what, driving down that was from midcourt. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Matherin with the ball for the Wildcats. Matherin around a Koloko screen, picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Koloko. Feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline. Circles back out top to Matherin. 10 to shoot. 16 left in the ballgame. Matherin, 3 balls straight away. Good!
That's
We're tied.
Huge shot for Ben Matherin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Matherin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. 2 tight ends. Oregon, 5-man front. They shift. Play fake, rolling right. McLeod looking to throw. Going deep. Down, trying to find Berrios. Makes the catch inside the 25-yard line. Still loose inside the 15. First down, Arizona.
What a play by McLeod. He was smacked, but he had the presence of mind to know where Berryhill was. He threw the ball. He underthrew the ball, and Berryhill was looking back at it and made a great play on the ball. An amazing play by Jordan McLeod.
Brown will take the snap a yard deep in the end zone. Straight back to throw. Has some time. Steps up in the pocket. The Wildcats have got him for a safety. Second safety Arizona has recorded this season. It's a 24-12 ball game, and the Cats will get the ball.
That's big time.
Really on the field is a safety.
Yes. That's big time by Arizona. That time defense did a great job of just closing the pocket from the inside, and then the pressure on the outside by Hebert. They just got him. They just got there. They won their blocks that time. Excellent job by Arizona defense and really changing the momentum of this game.
All right, Rich Herrera with you here on Wildcats Radio 1290. Coming up this hour, we'll give you an opportunity to win a $25 gift card courtesy of Papago Orange Blossom from Huss Brewing, who bring you this week's version of the Rich Herrera Radio Show. You are going to hear the greatest interview in an insider that's going to really share with you what it's like. It give you some insight you won't hear anywhere else. Bob Thompson, former president of Fox Sports Networks, joined us a little bit earlier. I got to listen to this again. Came away with some amazing information. You know, he's predicting the Pac-12, $35-40 million per school. You're looking at $75 million plus for Big Ten schools and SEC schools. Fascinating. He said, listen, Arizona's important. But he did point out that this is driven 70-30 football ruling the roost, which makes the pressure on Arizona football even greater, that if you want to stay competitive and you want to be in a conference, you got to have football teams that win.
Also, if there's anybody out there who's curious how many television sports executives might have, then, if you didn't hear earlier, Mr. Thompson will answer that question for you later.
How many TVs do you got in your house?
Me, 3, I think.
So I've got one in my bedroom. I've got one in the great room, hanging on the wall. I've got one in the office that's actually on a cart that I can take in the backyard to watch, because I have them all on Roku sticks now, because I have Xfinity, so I get Pac-12 Network. Right. I'm the only one in town who does. So I've got one in the bedroom, one in the great room, one in the living room. I got a big TV in the living room. The kitchen looks into the great room, so I can stand in the kitchen and watch TV. I got one in the office that's on a cart that we move. So if there's 2 games I need to watch at once, I'll roll the cart out into the great room or the living room to watch multiple games at the same time. And then I also roll that outside to the back when it's nice to watch TV in the backyard. Which is most days of the year. Yeah, so I got 4 big screen TVs, and then I've got 2 tablets that I'll watch television on. And this is the dumbest thing in the world. Most of the time, I stand there and I watch TV on my phone. Yeah. Like the smallest screen is the one that I watch the most. You know the sports bars that go out over the top, and they've just got a wall of maybe 50 televisions? Yeah, like a cold beer and cheeseburger. I worked at a place like that for a while. Oh, I love those. Yeah, I mean, you would think that having 50 televisions on the wall would be great, but when it's like a 24/7 type of scenario and you're just surrounded by it all times, unless it's a sports book and there's like a reason for it type of thing, I think minimal is better at home. Oh, no, I want the biggest. He's got an 85-inch TV. One big one, you don't think I'm not going to be whining to my wife I need an 85-inch TV? You need one large television. You don't need 6 televisions across the wall, all connected to some type of different programming simultaneously. Yeah, probably not. I got the one. How big is the big one we have? I think we have a 65-inch. I need 85-inch, and I want the one that curves. Concave, yeah. Yeah. I'll have to whine a little bit for that. Or I'm going to have to pick up a bunch of shows on CBS. You got to be really good, and maybe birthdays or Christmas, right? Nah, more likely I'm going to have to work a bunch of shows on CBS and then say, well, I made a bunch of money. Can I buy this TV? And then she's going to tell me no. Call Amy and tell her to take some more days off. Yeah. Well, I'm going to do Sunday night, Monday night, and I'm going to do next Thursday. So I have 3 shows next week sitting in for Amy. I have talked to Amy Lawrence maybe 3 or 4 times in my life. Really? Yeah. I called in. This is like 15, 12 years ago, like a while back. I think when she first got started. Okay. Just because I felt like, I think at the time it was college basketball, which, I'm super passionate about. And there just weren't a lot of people calling in with, let's say, intelligent takes on the subject. And so I just felt a couple of times during that. It was like right lead up to March Madness. And just, I liked her style. Very passionate. Well, I love her style. You know how I got in her good graces? How's that? She loves Adia Barnes. And by the way, Adia getting a little bit better, so we're still thinking and wanting Adia to get a speedy recovery from her kidney infection. But no, she wanted to talk to Adia, so the producer called and goes, Rich, you keep filling in for Amy. We need a favor. Can you get Adia on the show? So we got Adia on, and they connected, and Adia goes on quite a bit with Amy Lawrence now, so that's how I keep in her good graces to fill in. Yeah, it's good to have friends, right? Good to have those cross connections. Well, it's good to have friends in high places for people like me who live in low places. Yeah. All right. One of the things we asked today, we have a new text line. I'm going to start doing this. I'm going to make you guys, I'm calling you out. I'm going to tell you, I need you to use the text line. We spent a lot of money, a lot of resources getting a text line that's actually easy to use.
I will text you.
Yeah, you got to start sending text messages in. So text me, Rich, at 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. Text the word Rich.
I will text you.
Along with your message, and we'll read it on the air. So what I've been asking everybody to do is tell me how many wins the Arizona Wildcats are going to get. And I've got anywhere from 3. I got a couple 7-win scenarios. So, JW, let's walk through this. We haven't done this on the air yet. Let's do it. How many wins, and let's just be as optimistic as we possibly can, that Jaden DeLaura continues to be one of the young up-and-coming stars And Tetaroa McMillan, T-Mac, is every bit as good as they say he is, and he just catches balls all over the place. And you've got Jacob Cowing coming over, who's on all these preseason watch lists, and he just runs wild this season. And you've got Dorian Singer, who really emerged last year. And you've got talent up and down the running back core, where you've got Speedy Luke, and you got Stevie Rocker, and you've got Drake Anderson, and I'm going to forget about half of them because they're so deep. And you've got a defense that Hunter Echols just turns into a beast. And I already know what CY Christian Young can do. I know what all these guys could do. And they bear it out, and we have the most amazing season ever, okay? So I'm putting on my red and blue colored glasses to do this. Want to work with me on this?
Yeah, I'm here. I got the schedule in front of me.
All right. First game of the year. On the road, Snapdragon Stadium, 30,000 people going crazy for the San Diego State Aztecs taking on the Arizona Wildcats. Win, loss.
The big problem I see here, Rich, is that this game is at 12:30 in the afternoon. And because Arizona is so used to playing games that start at 8 p.m., I think it's going to throw them off slightly because they're just not used to that really early start time. So that's the first big thing going against them. In all seriousness, I don't know. I think San Diego State, clearly their fan base is always there. I'm not sure what their team looks like this year. I haven't done a lot of studying.
They're big. They're powerful.
They run the ball.
They run the ball. Yeah. It looks like Brady Hoke's Michigan teams.
I mean, I would love to see the team Arizona come out the gate. I would love to see this young group, especially the freshmen who are coming in, have yet to, suit up for a single D1 game. I'd love to see them come in and pull that win out. I'll go ahead and say that they will win that game, Rich.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you, just looking at it before practice started, I said 3 wins possible for the Wildcats. 3 wins were possible for the Wildcats. Now that I've seen the level of talent for the Cats has gotten better, how many wins will that add to our mix? So, you know what? Last year, BYU in Las Vegas, Arizona played well, and they just got worn out by the third quarter and weren't able to keep up. That was the story
of that early season. It felt like every one of those games they were in. Right?
All right, so, again, I am 100% being Bart Simpson's dad. What's Bart Simpson's dad's name?
Mr. Homer Simpson.
I'm going to be a complete homer right now, okay? So I'll say, let's put San Diego State in the win column. That's just 100% with my heart being a Tucsonan. Don't you? And I know there's people out there going, shut up, Pereira. Listen, no, I'm telling you, I'm just being a homer right now. This is my homer list. Mississippi State comes in. Second game of the season. Win or loss? It's Mike Leach.
Yeah.
He's going to be throwing the football all over the place. Now, he's going to be throwing the ball, and it's going to be that air raid type of offense.
Right.
Now, what I will tell you is I know Stooks is hurt right now, and he's going to be out for a little bit. But I look at what all the rest of these defensive backs have been able to do, and I see the depth that they have. And I know a Christian Young and C.R. Dubb and everybody else on that defensive backfield. The defensive backfield is going to be the strength of the Arizona Wildcats this season. Mark my words. The Arizona Wildcats secondary are going to be studs, and you're going to get Pac-12 players of the year. All Pac-12 players are going to come out of the defensive backfield. That's how good they've looked in practice. They only had 4 interceptions last year, and they keep getting reminded of it. Then you see them just being ball hawks right now. Can they beat Mississippi State?
They can. The worry I have is young defensive backs against a veteran like Mike Leach. He's been calling plays for how long now just to try to confuse young defensive backs. I think that's a big part of what they do with all those cross routes and all that stuff.
Home opener, 8 p.m. It'll be hot.
I'll tell you what I think. I think Arizona fans are going to come out, and you're going to see a lot more than maybe people anticipate.
All right, let's put it in the W.
I think that's going to be a win for Arizona.
And what's the name of Homer's dad? Or what's the name of Bart's dad?
Bart's dad is Mr. Homer Simpson.
No! Okay. There's 2 wins. North Dakota State University comes in. The best football championship team in America.
Yeah.
We saw them lose to Northern Arizona last year. Again, this is my homer list. I'll tell you my non-homer list, right, of teams I thought Arizona could beat. Cal, Colorado, and Arizona State. Those are my 3 wins that I was going to chalk up, and those are ones that I could definitely put in the win category. Can they beat North Dakota State?
Yeah,
You're shaking your head.
Obviously, North Dakota State has proven to be the thing I'm looking at. They're looking at their schedule from last year. They didn't play a FBS school last year.
No, because nobody wants to play them.
Exactly. So
I would have bought this one out. I don't want to play North Dakota State.
No, nobody does, and that's why
there's no win for you.
Yeah, it's a lose-lose situation. Home game, man. I don't know, Rich. What are you thinking?
I'm going to say, I got to give one back. I can't. I could be homer, but I just can't be.
Well, it's not going to be 12-0, right?
All right, so I'm going to say a loss to NDSU. No, you know what? I'm going to change this back. I'm going to say a loss to MSU, but a win versus North Dakota State University. 2-1.
Can see that.
Cal Golden Bears playing in Berkeley.
Yeah, Bay Area.
New quarterback, stout defense. Wilcox is back. They beat Cal last year, but if you go in with 2-1, you go in with a 2-1 record, I'm going to say you could beat Cal.
Yeah, I mean, Cal.
And again, these are my homer picks.
Sure.
Because I got to try to figure out how these guys got to 7 wins.
You're not going to put any money on this lineup, is what you're saying.
No.
Yeah,
I got a kid in college. Come on.
Now, I'm old enough to remember that, like, the Cal-Arizona games are such a top. Like, traditionally, Rich, Cal versus Arizona games is always that game where what you expect to happen doesn't happen, and it's always been that way. So I don't know what it is with the water every time they play Cal, but it feels to me like I think at Cal, I think that's probably going to be a loss, just because young team Cal, I'm
going to give them the win. I'm going to give them a win at Cal because again, I'm being a homer.
The problem is I can't. This team, I cannot give them out of the gate. Here's my thing, Rich. Just
you can't
for the
make
record.
them foreign. You can't make them foreign.
Like, I don't like to do this. I like to watch the team play a game or two because because how many young people are going to be incorporated in? It's the eye test thing, and so I'm not at practice.
Let's run through this real quick.
Of course, go for it.
Colorado, I think, is going to be a win on my homer list or my not homer list. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 wins so far. Oregon, I think, is going to be a loss. Dan Lanning team is going to be really, really good. Washington, I'm going to give you a W. New coach, I'll go with a W there. USC, I think, is going to be a loss.
Yeah.
As much as I don't like the Traders now. Utah, I think that's a loss.
At Utah, yeah.
UCLA. So I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3. So I'm 5-4 right now as I go to the UCLA game. UCLA is going to be on a roll. One of the easiest schedules of the Pac-12. You want to give them a win or a loss? They're playing
in Westwood, huh?
At the Rose Bowl.
At the Rose Bowl.
We have to give them a loss right there. Just benefit of the doubt playing at home. Washington State down here. Washington State's going to be a good team this year. They got that new quarterback. I'm going to go loss for Washington State. And then the big game, the Territorial Cup, ASU. ASU is going to be hurting this year.
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I go 6-6.
That's more than 5.
I go 6-6 with everything breaking right. The games that I had breaking the wrong way, maybe you could beat Mississippi State. It's going to be those defensive backs. Boy, wouldn't that be something if you can end up starting that season 3-1, going into Cal with a little bit of momentum and you start to believe in yourself.
And that's what a young team really needs, right?
Right. But again, listen, this is Sports Talk Radio, so we're just having fun with this.
Of course.
Anyway, that's it. Thanks to everybody who sent text messages in. I got to 6 being a homer. What say you? Again, you can still text me. Rich. Text the word Rich to 520-848-1290. Coming up, we're going to have a conversation. Oh, the best conversation. Bob Thompson, Fox Sports president, former president of Fox Sports. And coming up in 5 minutes, we're going to give you a chance to win a $25 gift card, courtesy of my friends at Papago Orange Blossom. Man, I got so much going on. It's Rich Rivera Show on a Tuesday. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, hand it to Mathurin between the rings. Over for Creasa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Koloko. Creasa around it, drives right. Throw it for Koloko, who slams it down for two. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak, driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
Fourth down and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step the handoff into the backfield and drop. No gain, loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way, out to Tabellas, down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out. The locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments from the University of Arizona Wildcats?
Fourth down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on fourth down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, looking, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown, Arizona. Oh, did they need that? My goodness. Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the field. ASU with the ball. Down by 11, so they have to go. Steal by Koloko. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Koloko, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his third foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Koloko looked like one driving down. That was from midcourt. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Mathurin with the ball for the Wildcats. Mathurin around a Koloko screen, picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Koloko. Feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline. Circles back out top to Mathurin. 10 to shoot. 16 left in the ballgame. Mathurin, 3 balls straight away. Good!
That's a huge shot for Ben Mathurin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Mathurin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. 2 tight ends. Oregon, 5-man front. They shift. Play fake, rolling right. McLeod looking to throw. Going deep. Down, trying to find Berryhill. Makes the catch inside the 25-yard line. Still loose inside the 15. First down, Arizona.
What a play by McLeod. He was smacked, but he had the presence of mind to know where Berryhill was. He threw the ball, he underthrew the ball, and Berryhill was looking back at it and made a great play on the ball. An amazing play by Jordan McLeod.
Ronald Herrera on Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, coming up in just a minute, we're going to have our interview with Bob Thompson, the retired president of Fox Sports Network. He's going to really unveil everything for you from a man who is one of the most powerful men in sports and give us his observation. All right, here's the big stories of the day. Cats work out in full pads. They have tomorrow off. Tetairoa McMillan had a couple great catches and runs. Defensive backs continue to look outstanding. Fufita impresses each day. Delora rebounds today, having a much better day than he did yesterday in full pads. Again, tomorrow they're off, back to work Thursday at 10 a.m. What else is going on? Pac-12 new life. This lifeline is going to come from Bristol, Connecticut. ESPN will not make a deal with the Big Ten Network. Instead, it'll be Fox, CBS, and NBC, which means $350 million is sitting out there for ESPN to finish their deal, if they'd like to, with the Pacific 12 Conference. That's huge news. And again, John Canzano and John Wilner, the two Johns that have been doing the lion's share of the reporting on this, both saying, listen, Pac-12 commissioners and presidents and ADs all had this as their game plan, and they're sitting pretty right now and kind of have things where their game plan was taking them not where they wanted to be. Obviously, you'd rather have USC, UCLA there, but they're very happy with the way things are progressing for the Conference of Champions. So those are the two big things that are going on today. Today's program brought to you in part by PGA Tour Superstore. Shop with the pros at PGA Tour Superstore right here in Tucson, Arizona. If you're a golf fan, it's the biggest selection of golf equipment, golf balls, all the accessories, hat, glove, shoes, clothing. They have it all, plus club fitters in the store. You want to go get a new club? Which shaft do I want? What kind of flexibility do I want? I don't know about any of those things. They do at PGA Tour Superstore, and they've got the best service, best selection, best everyday prices. And if you're a golfer, there's really only one place in town you need to go to find the very best golf equipment to elevate your game. And the thing I love about those guys is they're promoting golf in Southern Arizona. They support the Wildcats. They support the local golf professionals, and they sponsor our Saturday golf show. Every Saturday, 8 a.m., Jesse Crow and I, PGA member, we talk golf with local PGA members. We talk about the courses in town, the clubs in town. We talk about equipment. If you're a golf fan, it's a great show. Saturday morning, 8 a.m., and it's all brought to you by PGA Tour Superstore. And here's our offer. If you're a golf fan and you listen to this program, go into PGA Tour Superstore. They'll take $20 off a purchase of $100, $50 off a purchase of $250. Restrictions do apply. FootJoy, Titleist, not included. And Ping, not included in our promotion. Everything else in the store, they'll take care of you. That's the hookup for listening to Wildcats Radio 1290. All right, I've got to give something away. I got a $25 gift card, courtesy of our friends at Huss Brewing for their Papago Orange Blossom. They're the sponsor of the radio show this week. So, JW, how high do you want to go?
Let's do 10.
Caller number 10 right now, 520-848-1290. Caller number 10, 520-848-1290. You can win a $25 gift card, and I would suggest you use it for Papago Orange Blossom from Huss Brewing. All right, coming up next, conversation. If you've been trying to figure out what's going on with television rights and the Pac-12, call your friends, tell them to tune in right now. I've got the former president, El Jefe of Fox Sports. He's going to break it all down for you next here on 1290.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our web.